A non-toxic herbal tonic, a nutritional program, an attitudinal approach to healing. Harmless though it seems, this treatment ignited one of the most bitter controversies in medical history. It started a cancer war between organized medicine and one man, founder Harry Hoxsey. The trouble began with what seemed like good news.
And we now have in our files and our records many, many thousands of case histories and records, pathological proof, X-ray photographic studies that we do positively cure cancer, both internal and external. And we now have records proving that the cure stands up for many, many years, as far back as over 20 years here in Texas.
I think, my God, he's telling me the biggest lies I ever heard. This couldn't be right. And I'd listen to this for a few days, and finally I'd pick out the biggest one I thought he'd told me. And I'd go check. And when I got checking, it was right. The man hadn't lied about it at all. And finally I realized he didn't have to lie. He was telling the truth, but it was the wildest stories I'd ever heard in my life when it came to medicine.
He had this great skill as a salesman. Clearly, however, he had no belief that this treatment was useful. He was a great liar.
You know, it takes lots of nerve to put up a big, nice place in a big city like Dallas and hold yourself out as being able to furnish medicines that'll cure cancer. It takes nerve to do that. I don't believe a man that knew he was lying about it could do it.
He was doing his thing, and he had no business doing it. In fact, Hoxsey met both the legal and the dictionary definition of a quack. One who pretends to medical skill which he does not possess.
It was easy for the medical profession to paint Hoxsey as a quack. He fit the image perfectly.
This book, entitled You Don't Have to Die, is filled with dynamite. In fact, it should have been printed on asbestos paper. I give you names, times, dates, names of doctors, names of institutions.
The doctors labeled Hoxsey the worst cancer quack of the century. But Hoxsey's supporters called him an effective healer, persecuted by a medical trust.
But up to now, they have never proven that this treatment don't cure cancer.
The ex-coal miner with an 8th grade education became a legend in his own time. According to the Hoxsey legend, the remedies were discovered by his great-grandfather experimenting on a sick horse. Hoxsey said his father was the first to try the medicines on people. He gave young Harry the formulas with a deathbed wish to make the treatment available to people whether or not they could pay. He insisted it carry the Hoxsey name. Prophetically, he warned the boy against the high priests of medicine who would fight him jealously. It didn't take long. Hoxsey started his first clinic in Illinois in 1924, and he immediately incurred the wrath of organized medicine. He was arrested more times than any other man in medical history. Yet by the 1950s, the Hoxsey Clinic of Dallas, Texas was the largest privately owned cancer center in the world. Hoxsey clinics reached through 17 states. Endorsing the treatment were senators, judges, and even some doctors. 2 federal courts upheld its therapeutic value. If the treatment was worthless, how did it gain so much support? To claim a cure for cancer is to invite evaluation. While the medical profession turned its back on Hoxsey, numerous individuals did make personal investigations. These experiences repeatedly turned skeptics into believers.